Hey everyone, Eugene Fedorovsky from EugeneFedorovsky.com. I hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. I hope you're crushing it in your network marketing business and you're on the way to accomplish all the goals that you set out for this week. And today, I have a question for you. Have you ever felt like you don't have enough hours in a day? If so, stay tuned, and in today's video, I'm going to share a few tips around this subject. So let's talk about time. Time is something, and this is going to be a Captain Obvious statement, time is something that everyone on planet Earth has the same of. Everyone has 24 hours, no matter whether you're rich, no matter whether you're poor, whether you're successful, whether you're broke, whether you're a kid, whether you're an adult, whether you have a family, whether you don't, no matter what the case is, everyone on planet Earth has 24 hours in a day. It's just how some people use the 24 hours versus how others use it. So that's the groundwork. Now, most of the people in network marketing, such as myself, are building a business part-time, which means that it revolves around work. So, and this is where I'm gonna teach you something a little different than what a lot of people do, is that there's this mentality that, oh, if I just didn't have a job getting in the way, I would definitely build my business. It would be much easier for me to build it. I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Or that's not necessarily the case for most people. It's not how much time you have, it's how you use it. Because if you had more time, there's a very good possibility that you wouldn't know how to use it properly. And having 10 hours in your network marketing business would equal the same amount of action that you're doing with half an hour or an hour. You'll probably be sharpening pencils even longer. Now, don't get me wrong, even I have bouts of days when I just sit there and I'm procrastinating and whatnot. So having more hours is not necessarily the best solution right away. Also, as Jim Rohn says, when people used to approach him and ask him, what is it that you do? He said, I do blank, 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 and he filled in what he did as a job, full-time, and I'm building my fortune part-time. And the more he grew his business, the more his fortune grew. At some point, he saw that it didn't make sense to go to work anymore because he was losing money going to work. So then he walked away from that, and then whenever somebody asked him, what are you doing? What do you do? He had to mention his network marketing business. He couldn't say, I'm working full-time. And that right there, as hard as it is to believe, that's a barrier. So those people who you're going to approach, if you are full-time in this business, or when you will be full-time in this business, and you approach people and they'll tell you, oh, I don't have the time. I'm not like you. You have all the time in the world. You're doing this full-time. So don't think that when you do go full-time and you do have more time to build your business, that it's going to be an advantage, so to speak. So let me give you some tips around finding time and maximizing the time that you do have. So for example, let's say that you take a full 24-hour day, take out 8 hours for sleeping, then you're left with 16. Take out 9 hours for working, you're left with 7. So that's between sleep and work, you have 7 free hours after that. Typically, an hour is used to commute, and then you're left with 6. So that's 6 hours in an average day that you have free, and then you figure out how you use it. Maybe it takes you an hour to get ready for work. Maybe, in my case, it takes me about an hour and a half out of an hour to an hour and a half of every single day to walk my dog. I walk him in the morning, before I go to work, and in the evening when I come home from work. So that's about an hour and a half every day. So that leaves me with 4.5 hours. Then I need some time to get ready for work, to have breakfast and whatnot. That's another half an hour. That's 4 hours. So on average, and then add some extra things here and there, like washing dishes, doing chores, and sometimes staying late at work, that's even less time. So, and that's how you can plan out your day. Then, once you actually have a plan of how many hours or how many minutes or however you want to look at it, you actually have free, what I would recommend you to do is see if there's any small pockets of time in between your activities. So for example, when I walk my dog, it's a great time for me to listen to personal development. Usually I listen to Rankmaker's video or another training video, for example. Lately, my morning walk I've been listening to a motivational video or skills video, typically by Ray Higdon. In the evening, I'll listen to an audiobook. So I break that hour and a half into those particular activities. Now, you can also use the downtime for prospecting. If you're commuting to work and your commute is long enough, then what you can use that time, instead of listening to music or radio, you can either call prospects, have conversations with them, of course using a hands-free device and whatnot. You can listen to personal development. Use that time to do that. I've heard of people building a business, a successful business at it, solely during the time that they commuted to work. There's a truck driver, his commute was either 3 or 4 hours. That's the only free time he had in the whole day. And during those 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, or an hour and a half, whatever it was, all he did was contact prospects. And he built a humongous business. So find out ways where you can do that. Now, one of the things that I learned from Eric Worre is breaking chunks of time, chunks of a day into 15-minute breaks, 15-minute chunks of time. So maybe on your lunch break is not an hour, but half an hour. Spend 15 minutes eating, 15 minutes in your business. Or if it's an hour, spend 10, 15 minutes eating, and the other 3 15-minute chunks doing something in your business. If, let's say, you come home from work and you have to attend to your kids, no problem at all. Try to find 15-minute chunks here and there where you can just lock yourself in a room and make a few phone calls. You could do that. So that's a very good tip that I learned that I'm very happy to share with you. Another tip, maximize your time and to focus on profit-producing activities. Personal development is extremely important, but it's also something that's very easy to do. Prospecting, on the other hand, and doing other income-producing activities, it's not easy. It's difficult. That's why we run away from it. I shouldn't say it's difficult, it's challenging. Let's call it that. It's challenging. It's not easy, but challenging. So we are apt to spend all our free time on a webinar, reading a book, organizing our desk, or doing whatever it is. So let's say, for argument's sake, you have an hour free every single day. How would I spend, if I had an hour free, how would I spend it? What I would do, and this is encompassing the fact that you don't have time during your commute or during walking your dog or doing the dishes or whatever it is. So I would take an hour free, I would spend about 10% of that on personal development. So about 6 minutes on personal development, watching a video, reading a book, whatever. I would spend about 10 to 20 minutes on marketing. So that would be a Facebook Live or a Facebook post or anything like that. And I would spend the other 40 minutes or so on profit-producing activities. That's you reaching out to people in order to get eyeballs on the presentation. So that's prospecting via Facebook, in Facebook groups, picking up the phone, prospecting professionals, whatever your method is, or several methods. That is how I would maximize my time. So to recap, sit down and figure out how you spend your time. Budget your time. Break it down into 15-minute chunks so you'll be surprised how much free time you can find that way. And then, whatever time you have, make sure you're maximizing it into proper activities. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, please like, comment, and share. Unfortunately, there are so many people in this profession that think that because they don't have enough time, I'll just use that as an excuse, and that's it. For a limited time, when you visit my website at www.eugenefedorovsky.com, you can find a training on how to make a six-figure residual income from a network marketing business. I'm going to have it for a limited time. I'm not sure how long, but so don't waste your time. Visit, again, eugenefedorovsky.com. In the top right corner, enter your name and email address, and you're going to get this course. With that said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.